welcome to another episode of Eternal Connection on Blog Talk Radio. My name is Daniel Feint, and I will be the host of this radio program. Today we will be talking about various subjects. I titled the show Awakening Dreams for various reasons, but we'll get into that. To start off, I have some just announcements or news or information for you. In case you don't know who I am, again, my name is Daniel Feint, and you can find more about me at danielfeint.com. I've painted quite a few pieces of artwork, mostly acrylic, some sketches, and also I have quite a few self-published books, one of them being Eternal Connection, hence the title of the show. So if you want to check out my blog, it's on wordpress.com, and the name of the blog is Eternal Connection, Dimensional Word Selection. Let's see, I have a Facebook page for my site, which is danielfeint.com. And if you're interested and you don't know how to spell the name or don't know the link, it's DANIELFEINDT.com. So now that we've gotten that all out of the way, I just wanted to talk about awakening dreams. Basically, this show is going to be an inquiry. I jotted down some notes, and I apologize if you have been following the show, that it's been maybe a month or two, if not 3 months. I don't know exactly how long it's been since I broadcasted a show, but I wanted to talk about is it a choice to change? Let's see. I mean, you could go from the idea of if we want something to be different, if we don't make the choice to change that, then it's going to remain the same. I mean, of course, there is a time when we're on track and things are going well, and if we like the way things are going, there's really no reason to realign to a different way of being. And sometimes it's the right time to make a change. So all of this is going to be how we can awaken to our dreams if we're not doing what we want to do, that we as have dreamed of doing. A minor example would be that I wanted to do this radio program again. I wanted to broadcast again. So I made the choice to jot down some notes, even though the inertia has sort of kept me from thinking that I could get back into this again. For quite some time, I kind of slipped into a slight depression and cynical ways of living. But I started to list the qualities I was experiencing, to take inventory of the kind of thoughts in my mind. So if they were angry thoughts, I thought, well, how could I switch them to kind thoughts? Or if they were unforgiving thoughts, how could I apply the opposite? And that's, I think, the first, at least in the psychological realm, way of changing things in the direction that we want to go. I listed all the negative qualities and then countered them with a more effective and positive way to think. So that's what I wrote down in my notes. I'm not sure if it is momentum or just an opening of the eyes to see things differently. Of course, there's a flux in life. We go through ups and downs, and but it helps us to know what we want because of what we don't want. So that helps us to choose the direction and gives us a quote-unquote menu to choose from in life. Let's see. I could say I worry about falling asleep to my dreams in life, yet the opposite of worry is trust and faith. And if I follow those ways of thinking, there is all the better chance that I will stay awake to what I know is important to me. Interestingly enough, I was listening to a radio program, and it was talking about working with the heart and working with the mind. So I figured I'd throw in my thoughts on that. Oftentimes in spiritual type of psychological blending, we get the idea of the ego being kind of like what we shouldn't think but and sort of like the heart being the spiritual or the soul. There is a level of truth to that, but at the same time, what we resist persists. So this host of another radio program was talking about how we should just listen to what our mind has to say. And even if it's the ego that's talking, if we resist what it's saying, it's just pushing against it, and it's sort of like pushing against the wall. It's just not going to budge, and it's going to continue to do its thing. So applying that to what we were talking about earlier, which listing the opposites of what the heart is would be the mind, and the mind being the heart. But what if we could find a healthy balance in between and just mindfully think of what the heart wants and use our heart to use our mind. So that's kind of what I wanted to talk about with that. Just wanted to share that. Another thing I wanted to add in on this show is how I'm finding the emotional scale very helpful. And if you think of it, I kind of think, a scale could be going from left to right, or like linear. And on one side you have the bad feelings, the negative thoughts, and on the other side you have the good feelings and the good thoughts. But I like to go back to what Shakespeare said about there is no good or bad, thinking it makes it so. And I may have not quoted that correctly, but you get the idea. We could think of the idea of a good vibe or a bad vibe, and the only difference between it is, if you think of sound waves, it's a vibration. So the radio station that we're tuning into is the perception of how we see things. And we're not all going to have perfect days. I struggle with perfection, or at least I'm trying to cut myself some slack and look to the darker side of myself, if there is a lighter side, and if there is a lighter, darker side, or an angry or a kind side. But if my perception isn't the way I want it to be, I just want to be mindful and step back and say, well, I don't want to react in the moment. I want to make the best decisions I can, and sometimes it takes a little bit of time to slowly and slightly just move towards the other end of the scale, the other end of the emotional scale. So let's see. We're about 8 minutes or so into the show. This is going to be another 15-minute segment approximately. So kind of gonna just go with the idea of, I don't know, just speaking from my heart and my mind, as we talked about earlier, for the next few minutes, just to give the show some more content. Basically, if I could say what I wanted to say to anybody out there who may be listening to this, I have made some mistakes. I have acted in a way that I'm not proud of. I still slip up and sometimes get caught up in my emotions and my thoughts. If you can relate to this, I'm sure I'm not the only one. But from my perspective, I just want to find forgiveness, because, even biblically it said, we can't go to the point of creating and making something better without first forgiving and raising ourselves up to that point where we could create what we truly want, if there's still things that we need to resolve. I don't know. I just wish everybody the best. I want to be compassionate to myself and others, so I offer that to the people listening to this. I hope you all have comfort and peace and healing. If there's anything you need to heal physically, emotionally, or psychologically. But let's see. What else could we talk about? let's see, it's September 13th, 2015, and I hope to continue to broadcast more shows. I don't know, I'll try to just go with what's currently happening in my life and what I want to share from my perspective and my perception of life. Hopefully you can find some wisdom in what I'm saying. Hopefully I can learn from the point of just putting this out there, and they say that the teacher teaches what they need to learn. Not saying I'm a teacher or a student, but probably both. Like I said, I like to think of myself as a artist or a philosopher or a poet. If you want to read any of my poetry, go to wordpress.com and look up Eternal Connection is the name of the blog. It has my poems there, and now I'm posting every 3 days the words or the text, a little bit of the text from Guidance of Contemplation, Various Thought Situations, which is another book I wrote. It's kind of poetry, kind of prose. If you want to buy any of my books by chance, they're on Amazon or lulu.com, lulu.com. Just search Dan Feind or Daniel Feind, and you'll find it there. My name's a little bit hard to spell, my last name, so it's Feindt. I don't know. So I look forward to doing some more radio broadcasts, hopefully doing some more writing, maybe some more artwork, just trying to awaken to my dreams, as the title of the show is. So this may not be a full 15-minute segment, but hey, I'm happy with the way that things turned out for this show, and I hope everybody is doing well, and take the best of care of you so you can live the life of your dreams, for the idea that the amount of love that we have inside for ourselves and others is the amount of the quality of experience that we can have in life. So I wish you all that, and until next time, have a great day, a great night, morning, afternoon, whenever you're listening to this. And if you're not listening live, you can find this show in the archives, which I'll post this on my Facebook page, and you can listen to it in the archives on iTunes for the podcast, and or on Blog Talk Radio. Okay, thank you very much, and take good care.